Hi guys, how you doing? Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Eve, and just before I go up north to see my family, I thought I'd make a quick video because it's been a couple of weeks since my last one. Now, I know I've been slacking quite a bit. That's going to change in the new year. Basically, I've been taking too many different projects on, and if you follow me on the music production site, maketrance.com, you'll notice that I put a post up there last week saying I've stopped that now, and I'm going to start back on that in probably March or April, because I'm concentrating on 2 different things at the same time. I'm going to concentrate totally on the mixingguide.com and the DJing for the next couple of months at least. So today I want to talk about BPMs, something I mentioned briefly before, and I mean the music theory we've kind of finished with now, so now it's going to be just basically the mixing. So I'm going to talk about BPMs and the CDJ's built-in Bpm Counter and using some simple maths to work out BPMs as well. And yeah, let's get going. It's going to be quite a short video. Next time, which I hope will be next Monday, Tuesday before the end of the year, I'll do a quick video on queuing a track, which is finding the first beat and setting a cue point, getting ready to actually start the mix. But let's talk about BPMs. Okay, so if you remember from the video when we talked about BPMs, I talked about a beat as being something that you can like nod your head to. So if I play something, that's the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now beats per minute, BPM is beats per minute. How many beats do you have in a minute? And it's the measure that you use to actually work out the tempo or the speed of a track. Now the CDJ has actually got its own BPM counter, and it's pretty good. Now as a DJ, you basically want to be learning how to mix without relying on BPMs, without even knowing what the BPM of a track is. However, to start off with, it's a good idea to use a BPM counter just to get going. To get pretty much close to the BPM that you want, and then you can fine tune it with your own ears. Well, it's a good starting point anyway. Okay, so here you can see display there. Now the BPM is over here. So for that track, you notice that as 137 BPMs. So what I'm going to do now is just play a few tracks and watch it calculate the BPMs. Next track. Taking its time. There you go, 141. It does take its time sometimes. Now it's calculated that, so if I change the actual the tempo with my tempo control, make it slower, you will see the BPM changing as well. Make it faster, BPM changes. Yeah, but at 0, it's 141 BPMs. Do one more. It does take a while sometimes to calculate, and most of the time it is accurate. Thinking about it, there you go. So 139 is what it's calculated, and it's not just at the beginning of the track that it calculates it. It's basically all the time. So if the BPM did change, it would identify that change. Okay, so that is basically the built-in BPM counter on the CDJ. Now, if you guys are mixing with MP3s, then bear in mind that I mean, I do that myself. I mean, I've got a CD in here full of MP3s. Then there's actually software that you can use to work out the BPMs of your tracks. Now, if you actually go to that link, which I've got in the description on the right, on there I've got a link to something called Meister's BPM Analyzer, and that's the software I use. It's quite cool, man. You basically just give it a folder, and it goes through every single MP3 that you've got and works out the BPMs of them and puts it into the information. And you can print it out as well, name the track with a BPM. And if you actually know your BPM, you can use some simple maths to do some mixing, even if you had some DJ gear without a BPM counter. So let's say here we didn't actually have a BPM counter. We could use the figure on the top, which is your pitch percentage, to actually work out your BPMs. So you can see if I actually make the BPM fast, hang on, let's get the camera straight. If I make it fast, you can see the BPM getting faster, but you can also see this other number getting higher. 3.9, 4, 4.1, 4.2. That's actually your tempo control. It's your percentage of the track. Sorry, the tempo percentage, pitch percentage. So basically what it means is at 0% it is actually at the BPM of the track. At 2% it means that you've actually increased the tempo by 2% of the original speed. So let's use some maths here. Now let's say we've got 2 tracks here. I'm going to slowly move the camera over to my other CDJ. Apologies for the fast movements here. So let's play a track here. Okay. Okay, so it's worked that out now. It's 140. Let's speed that up a little bit. Let's make that 144. So that's 144 BPM. Now let's say we go back to this track here. Let's go to Happiness Happening again. So what is the default tempo? So let's play the tempo when the pitch percentage is 0. So bring the pitch down. This one here. You can bring it back down to 0. Or don't forget, you've got this tempo reset button. If you press that, you'll set it to 0 no matter where it is. I mean, that's a good indicator there that you actually are at 0. So at 0, I think it was 137. Yeah, so that's 137. We want to get up to 144. And we know it's 144 because it's an MP3 and we use some software to tell us it's 144. So how do we use a calculator to work out what we do? I'm walking around my room here. Right, got a calculator here. Ooh, getting dizzy. Okay. So we had 137. What percentage increase do you have to make to 137 to get up to 144 BPM? 137 divided by 144 times by 100. So it's 95.1%. This left track is 95.1% of the tempo of the right track. So it needs to be sped up by 100 minus that. 100 minus 95.1. Which is 4.86%. So I need to increase this by 4.86%. Let's do that. Let's play it. Increase that. And you'll see that number at the top needs to be 4.86 or nearby. Oops. There you go, 4.85, that's the closest I can get to it. But you see there, now the tempo now is 144 BPM, which matches 144 BPM. And that is one way you can actually get the tempo pretty much near to what you want it to be. And then you can use your ear to just make the fine adjustments. Actually, I'm over here. So that's basically it really. It's I mean, like I said, you really want to be DJing without relying on a BPM counter, but it's a good starting point. Now keep in mind that I myself am a beginner. I know I do these tutorials, but don't forget I'm learning along with you guys. So when I mix, I'm going to be making mistakes as well, and it'll take me a while to actually get things working correctly. And there are many different ways of doing things. I'm just telling you the ways that I do, and hopefully they'll be useful to you. So that'll do. Have a great Christmas dinner, and I'll put up another video at some point next week on queuing a track. So Merry Christmas, guys. Take care.